Dan, he's got a podcast, cause all comics need a podcast, and nobody had a podcast called The Art of Bombing. So Dan went out and bought a tape deck. Who knows why he bought a tape deck? Podcasts don't get played on tape decks, but Dan is from the 80s. So hey there, all you funny jerks, come talk to Dan about your work. Tell him all about your worst times. It's The Art of Bombing.
Welcome, everybody, to The Art of Bombing presents a stand-up comedy watch party. How is everybody doing in the world of internet? I hope you're well. How are you, Josh?
Dude, I am fantastic. Can't wait to get this thing started, man.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. This was your idea to do this watch party. It was a show that you produced and you filmed and did the editing. And how about you tell everybody a little bit about what we're about to see.
Yeah, well, we've gotten some requests before to see some live stand-up comedy. Our podcast, The Art of Bombing, is all about supporting stand-up comedy, all of those different types of things. And I thought that it would be fun to actually record one of our performances. We have four great comics on this, actually three great comics and me. And it's live from a show that we did back in the middle of February at Hazel's Coffee and Bar in St. Joseph, Missouri. And so essentially what we've done is we've taken the 90 or so minutes from that show, baked it down to about 35 minutes of best of comedy that we're going to watch tonight.
Awesome. So that's what we got going on tonight. We're going to be watching some stand-up, previously recorded stand-up. I have not seen this video. I have not watched it yet, so I don't know what we're in store for, but I'm sure it's going to be a good time. Make sure if you want to, this is a watch party, so we're going to be watching this with you. So if you want to leave comments and, say some comments or maybe ask questions or whatever, throw it out there. Make sure you like and share what we're doing. That helps too. But I think without further ado, we'll give it like one more minute for people to get their popcorn, get your sodas, get ready to sit back. And in 1 minute, we're going to start this. So welcome to the watch party. I'm excited for this. Dude, I should have went and brought some popcorn, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
It's a snackable good time. And you're absolutely right about leaving comments. Feel free to watch it. Have fun. Dan, like he said, has never seen it. So you're gonna watch him watch it. You're gonna get his take on everything. He's going to give it an honest read. And during this, if you feel like supporting it, we're going to show a way for you guys to contribute to the show. You can Venmo at Bublitz Entertainment. We'll put that up there during the show. And if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and throw a $2 donation or something like that into it. And we'll get the comics supported. They worked their butts off for this. And they're excited to stream what they did the night of.
Yeah, and it should be noted that we are sharing this with their permission. So
that's right.
Don't anybody try to get us in trouble where we ask their permission. So yeah, if you want to kick some money in, some tips in while you're watching to Bublitz Entertainment on Venmo, that's cool. Because then what we're going to do with that tip money is we're going to kick it over to the comics as well. So for letting us share their content. So you're helping comedians get some money, but don't feel obligated. And now let's get ready to watch this show.
Do it.
Coffee shop in St. Joe. Don't tell them the one about the garden. I'm like, it's not a garden. It's a concentration camp for plants.
Pretty fancy.
And it's not a silly little coffee shop. It's Hazel's Coffee and Bar. Okay, anything goes at this place. Place is called, it's called Hazel's, but the lady that owns it is Heather. Nobody can figure it out. I was like, have you ever met Hazel? She's like, I killed that bitch. So so I don't ask about it anymore.
I feel like I got my confidence back in the day by, choosing what I wore the first day of school. You couldn't wear the same shit you wore the year before. Like, you had to show up wearing something different, like whether you change your clothes or your hair or your name. Like, you could not show up wearing the same stuff you did the year before. If you did that, well, you didn't understand the assignment, Like, I remember I showed up my freshman year dressed like Limp Bizkit because I thought that was the coolest shit you could do. To be honest, I've been regretting it ever since. I can actually trace every mistake I've made, every unlucky moment in my life back to doing it for the nookie. I used to wear my sister's hand-me-downs. That was fun. That was a good time. The good thing about that was she shopped in the men's section. The bad thing was she was a grunge kid, so nothing fit. I don't like to buy new clothes. You can't get me to buy new clothes. I will wear shirts till they have holes in them, and pretend I don't feel the breeze. I'll wear underwear till it's shredded, and I have to convince myself that there's a boundary between my balls and my jeans. SparkNotes version, there isn't. The good thing is, I still do have my sister's hand-me-downs, and since it's been a few years, they fit now. So that's fun. I did a burlesque show not too long ago, and it's really fun because those people are some of the most confident people you will ever meet. Like, they get on stage and they are like, here's my body, take it or leave it, and if you leave it, that's your loss. You see, when I get on stage, I'm like, here's my body, take it or leave it, and if you leave it, I get it. I understand. I don't know, I think the time that I was the most confident was probably when I was 6 years old, and I had met my first love. Do you guys remember your first love? Yeah, I do. Her name is Katie Pierce. She pierced my heart. Boo. No, I do. It had to be love, because I was 6. I didn't know what fucking was yet, so. I remember though, I was at a grocery store and I saw her in line with her mom in the checkout line. I was like, there she is, Katie Pierce, love of my 6-year-old life. I was like, what do? I go say hi to her? Nah, that's T-ball shit. I can think of something better than that, right? So I'm racking my brain. What do I do to impress this girl? I just thought, and it hit me. I'm gonna do a knee slide. What? What was I watching at 6 years old that told me a knee slide was the coolest shit you could pull off to impress a girl? Like, was I watching Footloose and I was like, this guy holds hands? That's what I landed on though, And the worst part about it was I was wearing shorts and flip-flops. Yeah, about the only 2 things you don't want to wear when attempting a knee slide. Like, I don't know if you remember what it was like to go down a metal slide in shorts, but it was like, and that was the sound coming out of you. It sucked. But I did. I took off running, flop, flop, flop. I'm in flip-flops. I could only run so fast. But I was running as fast as I could, and I hit that ground, and my knees were like, and I was like, shit, fuck, ah. Well, I was 6, so I was like, gosh darn, ouchies. My flip-flops went flying in all the directions, people turned around, look at me. I was like trying out for Cirque du, so don't ever do that again. One guy was like, Footloose. Everybody saw me. Everyone saw me, except for Katie Pierce. Yeah, like there's no real ending to that story. I just want you to know, miracles can happen. To be honest, I haven't worn shorts or flip-flops since.
You guys are a great crowd. You guys are excited. I hope you guys are excited for comedy. Sorry, I got distracted by Davis's phone. I wanted to find out all his secrets. But yeah, what's funny to me is that I was like, I could probably do Davis's material because like I feel like I'm just girl Davis. Like I feel like you're just gonna see 4 versions of Davis come up. Like it's gonna be like, what if Davis was a girl? And then Josh is gonna be like, what if Davis was taller? And Dustin will be like, what if Davis said howdy? Like that's what it's gonna be. You'll find out later. But that's fun. Let's see. Valentine's Day just happened. You guys have a good Valentine's Day? No. Okay. You guys are like, I hate Valentine's Day. Love is dead. All right. Like I said, Valentine's Day was the last holiday. President's Day is coming up. Do you guys not like holidays? Or you guys are boo holidays? I hate every single one. I'll include bank holidays. Let's see. Yeah, we just got done with the big deluge of holidays. That just ended. That's always fun. That's always a nice time. I'm being sarcastic. It's stressful and I hate it. I spent all of my holidays with my boyfriend's family. I spent Thanksgiving and Christmas with them. And mostly it went fine. It was like meeting them all for the first time and stuff. Except during Thanksgiving, I was talking to my boyfriend's mother, and we're just having a perfectly normal, fine conversation. And then this child comes up to us, and she interrupts us, and she says to me, "You look like a girl, but you sound like a boy." And I was like, well, that's why your cousin likes me so much. Because I fulfill every man's fantasy of just dating a Ninja Turtle, you guys. Like, I have had several people, because I have a low voice for a woman, I know that, but I've had like several people tell me that like my voice is sensual, which is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous, because sensual is not a tone, that's an attitude. Like, here's what I sound like in bed. It's like, it's not sexy at all. It's just like, yeah, get it, yeah. Way to go, up high, down low, too slow. Tap him in the nuts. It's very weird. Like, I like my boyfriend. We've been together for 6 months or so. He's a nice guy. I love him, he's fine. It just gets worse and worse. Like, he's a human being, I guess, that's right. No, I do like him. I do love my boyfriend, but I also, mostly I just like not being single. That's fun. I enjoy not dating. I think dating is awful. I know everybody thinks dating is awful, like that's such a lame thing to say because we all agree it's terrible. But I always I think dating is awful for the same reason that men think dating is awful. We're like, oh no, I just sometimes don't have a fun time because I don't know, men, you're not audience to this, but for dating for women in general is horrific. It's a nightmare all the time, and I don't ever experience. This is just me bragging all the time. I never get harassed. I have the best life ever. But have you ever asked a female friend about a date? Because I'll ask a female friend, be like, oh hey, you went on a date last week. How did that go? And she goes, oh, it went great. I think we're going to see each other again. He did spit in my face and set the table on fire, but you know. I'm like, what? No, draw the line and setting the table on fire. Arson's off the table. Have some respect for yourself, girl. Yeah, I think a lot of it is just I don't get any of the stuff that women usually get. I think it's just my general vibe. Like I said, I got a Ninja Turtle vibe. You don't want to be mean to a Ninja Turtle. But I think a lot of it is just that I don't have a resting bitch face. I would say I'd have a resting mom face. I don't look mad. I just look disappointed. It looked like if you did send me a dick pic, I'm like, we're gonna talk about this when your father gets home. I've done that joke several times, and people always feel the need to come up to me afterwards and be like, you don't look like a mom. You look like a substitute teacher. You don't look like a mom, you look like a librarian. I'm like, okay, I get it. I look like anyone who uses your full legal name when they yell at you. You don't have to keep telling me what I look like. This is ridiculous. But it's also weird that they specify substitute teacher. They're like, I don't trust you with kids full time, but you do look like you know how to use a VCR. I'm like, I do. I'm great.
Hey, look, something quick about me is that I am colorblind, specifically for red and green. So a couple of big ones, and it's embarrassing. The most embarrassing thing about it has to be having an 8-year-old who's not colorblind, because I don't always sound like a dad, when we're in the car together. A real dad would say, hey buddy, what color's that light up there? And not, hey buddy, what color's that light up there?
My name is Dustin Slentz, like Davis said, but I was actually born with a different name. I was born as Dustin Woldridge. And there's really no cool or interesting backstory behind that. I'm not in witness protection or anything badass. I just have parents that aren't friends. Oh, you guys all come from perfect families. Cool, all right, yeah. The rest of the show's gonna work great if you keep pretending that. Yeah, my mom was so mad at my dad by the time that I was born that she named me after a man who played no role in my life. I have no idea who Mr. Woldridge is. I don't know what he does. I don't know if he's still alive, honestly. For all I know, it's just the guy that gave my mom a ride to the hospital that day. They made some Rumpelstiltskin deal on the side of the road. He was like, I'll give you a ride if I can name your firstborn. And she was like, oh, well, he's in jail, but he can have this second one. And here I am, yeah. Don't worry, this joke's got a happy ending. I'm now Dustin Slentz after my father because in first grade my dad took my mom to court. He got joint custody, I got a new last name, and I moved up 5 spots on the lunch line. What's up? Yeah. That sounds good.
I think I have a complicated relationship with money. You know, we're not really talking too much right now. It's fine. They're staying with their parents. They blocked me on social media. I think we'll work it out. I think if I remade the song "Money" by Pink Floyd, it would go something like this. Money. What's that?
They also told me that pickles were their own variety of vegetable. Like they just grew out of the ground, like on the vine already, like that, ready to eat. I didn't crack that one until last summer. I'm halfway through my life. I didn't find out about it on Wikipedia. I found out about it at a barbecue for my wife's new job. I was standing in a circle with my wife's new boss, and enough people to convince me I should have already known about this. Wife's new boss starts playing, like she starts taking us all through the plan in the garden. She's like, I'm gonna plant some cucumbers here and some asparagus here. And what do you guys think I ought to do right here? And I should have let somebody else take that question. But I didn't. I just stood there with my hand hook swinging in my pants like this, and I said, yeah, why don't you plant some pickles? And I said it like that, like I'm lighting a cigarette. That's not me. That's not my life. You guys, my life is, if I go anywhere after 7:30, I can't convince my bank that I'm using my own debit card. I couldn't convince him I was here right now with Randy at the bar. If I tab out right there, Commerce Bank will shut my card down and probably call me to see if I'm doing okay. Okay, so I got no business telling this lady at this party to plant pickles in her backyard and saying it with all the gravitas of an off-duty cop. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever told somebody who's about to plant cucumbers to plant pickles. It's the same as telling somebody who's about to plant wheat, nah, why don't you grow some toast? All right, this is all right. You guys having fun so far?
I used to donate plasma. Anyone ever do that? Yeah, good. 2 of us. That's good. That's fun. You know, it wasn't glorious, but you were hooked up to a machine, make $50 to watch a movie, save lives with your plasma. You know, your plasma, it does all sorts of things. It does all sorts of things. I just feel like everyone that worked at a donation center, like they started that day, you know, like they woke up that morning, put on their sweatpants, they're like, I'm gonna go work at a donation center. They went through their interview, the interviewer's like, you have scrubs? They're like, just these sweatpants, and they're like, that's fine. Take these needles, go poke some folks. The woman who stabbed in my arm multiple times that day, I'm pretty sure it was her first time. I hurt so bad I couldn't even enjoy the movie I was watching. And I was watching Serendipity, and that is a delightful film. They wrapped me up, sent me on my way, went to pick up my money, and I was bleeding down my arm and through my shirt. It was almost as if I was stabbed multiple times. I got out into the parking lot and I just vomited everywhere. I felt like a heroin addict without any of the fun. Just told him to come down. I got a scar on my arm now. A buddy of mine saw it years later. He looks at me and he goes, hey man, you okay? I was like, what? Oh, no, dude, I used to donate plasma. He's like, no, man, it's cool. I was like, God damn it, this guy thinks I used to do heroin. Anyway, now I do heroin because I got sick of explaining myself. So. Coming down to a lot more expected.
You know, I delivered an Uber Eats order to a high school campus at noon on a Wednesday. It's not where you want to be at 35 years old with this beard in a full-size white van on a high school. Student resource officer just staring at me. I'm like, yeah, buddy, I would also like to get out of here. If you could just send out whatever faculty member order this Chipotle, I would love to scram. Not a faculty member. A female student came outside and started walking towards my van, and I was just like, no! I threw the burrito, I got out of there. And I wanted to like stop and scold her. Like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? This parking lot has 4 exits. We're in the middle of the city. We're less than 2 miles from all the major interstates in the middle of the country. You could be gone in a second. I don't know why I know all of that, but there's other people out here that think like me. They might not be as nice. You should be careful. I'll be driving around these neighborhoods in this big white van, and women will grab their dog leash a little tighter, huddle their children, get the phone out. Like you see them start to dial. I'm like, no, I'm just here to do a job. I don't want to scare anyone. So I've been trying to address it. So now when I do deliveries, I dress a little nicer. I make sure to always do my hair. I don't wear a hat or sunglasses. I smile and wave, try to be engaging, which they seem to like less. I'm sure that's a good thing. I wear a safety vest. I always have my flashers on. I even bought an Amazon delivery sticker from Amazon with my own money so that people would know when I come into their neighborhood with this big white van that I'm here to do a job and nothing weird. And then it hit me, oh no, this is what a good creep would do, try to blend. I hope this isn't how it starts. I delivered to this one house, and this kid was playing basketball in the driveway by himself. And kids, when you're playing with a toy, nothing else exists in the world. So he misses a shot, and it's bouncing down the driveway, and I'm walking up with this box, and he doesn't even, the ball passes me, and our paths cross, and he just freezes. And the ball rolls into the street, and he just slowly looks up at me with this face that could only say, oh no, you're here to take me. And I could see the panic on his face, and I didn't want him to freak out. And I was like, oh, no, kid, I just have a package for you. And that is not a cool thing to say to a 12-year-old in their own driveway. He shook it off, though. He just kind of looked up, he shook it off for a second, and he goes, oh yeah, well, what's the name and address? And I don't know how many of you in here do any sort of third-party delivery driving, but I was very high and not ready for questions. So I just tossed in the box and ran. And I got back into my van, and I was like, dang, that kid's smart and brave. And he likes basketball. Hell, maybe I will take him, This could be the start of something.
All right.
Wow, that's pretty good so far.
Yeah, good times, man. I think all these 3 comics I work with did a great job, and yeah, we're just getting started, man. I've got some real treats on the backside of this thing, but I thought we'd stop just for a minute and just remind everybody that this is a live show. We're doing this with the comedian's permission. If you feel like contributing, we're welcoming $2 donations to Bublitz Entertainment Venmo at Bublitz Entertainment. That is not mandatory, but that is something that you can do to support us so that we can keep doing these and keep supporting the comics that work really hard on this material. Dan and I also wanted to let everybody know that if this is your first time checking us out, maybe you're just on the interwebs out there watching this show and you haven't tuned into our podcast yet. Well, we happen to have the best stand-up comedy podcast in the business. Stan, do you want to plug that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we do have one of the best stand-up comedy podcasts. It is called The Art of Bombing Podcast. Obviously, you see our logos everywhere tonight. But yeah, what you should, if you like podcasts and you like comedy-specific podcasts, you should check it out. In every episode, we talk to a comedian about their worst show. So you get to hear a fun horror story of a time where they it, and we try to grab some insight from them, and so that people listening can learn something from their mistakes, essentially. So you get to learn from other people. So that comes out we do live streams on Tuesdays. Every other Tuesday. Our next one is going to be, let's see, we just did one. It'll be this coming Tuesday. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, trying to remember what Tuesdays we're on. So yeah, so this Tuesday we have Luke. It's Luke Thayer, right?
Is Luke Thayer. Yeah, Luke very Thayer. Funny guy out of New York City. And we will be streaming that show Tuesday night at 9. But we'll be releasing the podcast version of that on Thursday that same week.
The following Thursday.
Yeah, man. So definitely check us out at the artofbombingpod.com. You can also find us on our Art of Bombing Pod Facebook channel. So yeah,
don't be this guy. Oh,
that's right. Yeah, it's one of the things I like about the podcast though is that everybody is that guy at some point, right? I mean, everybody fails, everybody has problems, everybody needs to pick themselves back up, and that's what I love about that show.
That's exactly it. That's we all bomb at one point or another.
That's right.
Sometimes more often than we want to.
That's right. One more quick plug. You can also support us by going to patreon.com, Art of Bombing Pod. There's lots of cool merch. There's lots of cool stuff that you can get by joining our Patreon channel. Essentially, that's a subscription. It's $5 a month. One of the cool things that we'll be releasing if we feel like we have some good support for these watch parties is we'll be logging up our watch parties onto that platform or at least providing through that platform a way for you guys to get all of these on demand so you can check out all the live shows that we record and produce, not just the stream. So that's another cool thing that you can do there. Appreciate that comment, Darren. That's badass.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for watching. And for Darren and everybody else, I think it's about time to get back to the show. Dan, what do you say, man?
Yeah, real quick, though, before I do that, just shout out to Darren. He opened for me this last weekend. We got to work together in Wyoming. That was a lot of fun.
All right, let's get him on one of these sometime. Huh?
Yeah, we had a good time over in Gillette, Wyoming. And then we had a nice chat afterwards about comedy. That was fun at the little hotel bar that we were staying at. So that was cool. So, awesome. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Darren. All right, let's get back to this watch party.
I work at home now. Clap your hands if you work from home, everybody. Yeah, let's hear it for my virtual people. Yeah, everybody's virtual now. Everything is virtual now, including the police. I got into a car chase last week, and it's not because I wanted to. It's because I saw a man stealing a garbage truck on my street, and I called the police, and they totally tried to get me to catch the guy by myself. That's what they're doing now. I get it. I understand it. You know, after George Floyd and a pandemic, cops in Kansas City, you're like, nah, we'll just walk you through it over the phone. That's what happened to me. I called the police to report grand theft auto, and I got troubleshooting steps to try on my own first. You'd have thought when the lady picked up that I had called customer service at Google Fiber to complain that my internet was down for a couple of minutes. I was like, hey, there's a man who stole a garbage truck, and he's driving north on Southwest Trafficway, and he's not stopping. And she's like, okay, have you tried shooting out his tires? That's what it sounded like, because when I told the police that I was tailing a dangerous suspect in a stolen city vehicle by myself, they told me to keep doing it. I thought at least they would sound like the police. I thought she was going to say, citizen, this is no place for you, move out of the way and let the men and women in you. She didn't say any of that. She said, oh shit, stay on him. Which is what the cops sound like when they don't have to wear pants to work, you know? So, I stayed on him. Yeah, and then that's when Officer Tammy found out just how terrible a new police deputy I really am. I got no business chasing a garbage truck through the middle of town. That's not me. That's not my life. My life is, I was a guest on a podcast recently, and I went back and I listened to the episode with me on it, and I got fucking bored. Okay? So who does she think I am? All right? She's like, hey, sir, stay far enough behind him where you can see him, but he doesn't know that you're there. And I'm like, uh-oh. She's like, what? Did you lose him? I'm like, no. We're even with each other at a stoplight. So that's when Officer Tammy tried to make it easier for me. She was like, "Can you describe the vehicle, sir? What color's the garbage truck, sir?" I was like, "You're not gonna believe this, but I'm colorblind." I was like, "Hey, buddy, what color's that truck back there?" She's like, "Back there, what happened? Did you lose him?" I'm like, "What?" He turned right, and I went straight. I got shit to do. I'm sorry. And then they caught him. And it wasn't because of me. It was because this man stole a garbage truck at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. And while it was still picking up trash. So it had 2 guys riding on the back of it the entire time. I'm sure they told the police everything they needed to know about this robbery. So, being colorblind, let it out. Just let it out for me. Let it out. Being colorblind has never come up at work, but it has come up in a major police investigation. All right? Yeah.
I used to go to a lot of games as a kid. I went to a lot of Chiefs games, and my favorite part of going to Chiefs games is when the Chiefs would score and they would play that song, and it'd be like, na 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 na. Wow. They would play that song, and we'd be like, "You're gonna beat the hell out of you." And like as a child pointing at professional athletes, it just felt so cool. And they don't play that song at the stadium anymore. I don't know if you guys have been recently. They don't play that song anymore. And it bums me out. And I was like trying to figure out what the reason was. And it turns out the reason they don't play that song anymore is because that song was written by Gary Glitter. And Gary Glitter did some pretty horrible things with kids over in England before he crossed the pond, you know? And I was like, all right, well, I guess that's an okay enough reason. But I still hear Michael Jackson every time I walk into Starbucks. What the fuck's up with this double standard? Sometimes I think about what Gary Glitter was doing when he wrote that song. Like maybe he was just creeping around his neighborhood being a weirdo, you know? And that tune started to come down and he's just like, and he gets all excited, he's like, na 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 na, and the neighbors were like, hey! And then he came to America and made millions, the clever bastard.
Huh? 28 years. Whoa, give it up for those guys. That's great. That's great. It's not part of the joke. I just wanted to find somebody that had a number for me. Thank you very much. That's a long time. My wife and I, we've been married for 15 years, and we've known each other, God, 2. Okay? We're different. We're just really different people, is what I'm saying.
We talk on the phone once a week to catch up, me and my brother in jail, and he'll ask me questions sometimes that just blow my mind. Like not too long ago, he asked me how old I am. Bit of a wild question from your older brother. So we've been brothers my whole life. The age gap hasn't changed. If he knows his age, he should know mine. I was like, there's not meth in there, right? Like you should be clean. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, motherfucker, what else do you have to do besides count days? You should know exactly how old I am. I know you don't have any hobbies. The drawings you send me fucking suck. You can either get good at art, learn my age, just give me $4 next month, son of a bitch, yeah. You have fun deciding between clean underwear and cigarettes. There it goes, one joke too far every time, man, I know.
My wife wants to do crazy stuff right now. She's like, I want to do a CSA. Do you guys know what that is up there? Yeah, it stands for Community Supported Agriculture. So my wife had to explain it to me. She's like, well, it's where you pay a lot of money and then you get your food directly from a farmer. And we chose to live in a house because it's right next to Hy-Vee. Like the garden, like the shadow that's over the garden all day is the Hy-Vee. That's where we're at. So why should I have to drive all the way out until I have to turn my brights on just to get a bag of apples in a Cosmo? And she's like, no, that's not how it works. You see, the farmer brings it to a location in town and you just have to drive there and get it. And I'm like, oh, that's a fucking grocery store. It's Hy-Vee is what we're talking about right now. We're not talking right now. Yeah, it's so hard. We fight about anything. We fight about, I'm like, it's a pot. And she's like, it's a pan. And now I'm pots and she's pans. And we're ready to die for this. For a skillet. You know?
He asked me another question not too long ago. He said, bro, do you have any kids yet? And I was like, no, I don't. And he said, wow. I can't believe you made it to 35 without getting anyone pregnant. And I was like, well, that's not what I said. I grew up as a pro-life person. I was pro-life for 24 years. And then I got presented with a choice. And I switched sides. That's why I don't talk about politics. I don't care where you stand, that's a good joke. There are people literally doing this and not hitting their hands together. Most of the room likes this. Who are you scared of? Who in here is scaring you guys out of the audible laughter? Alright, fine. I was on vacation a couple years ago. I was in Costa Rica and I was on this jungle tour up in the mountains and I was really high. And I came across these trees and these trees had these roots that stuck out of the ground like taller than me. And it was freaking me out. And so I like stopped the tour and the tour guide and I was like, sir, I have to know what is up with these tree roots. And he explained to me that it was evolution, that actually those same trees grow in the southern part of the country. But down in the southern part of Costa Rica, where the land is flat, the tree roots just go straight into the ground. You can't even see them, because that's where the nutrients are. But up here in the mountains, the trees have changed to adapt to earthquakes. That's how they stabilize when earthquakes hit. And I was like, hi. And I was like, oh my God, you're telling me these trees have evolved to stabilize for earthquakes? There's not a cow on this planet that knows what an earthquake is. I think vegans are fucking up. I think they're the ones eating the smart things. Have you guys ever watched The Secret Life of Plants? It's insane. They're conscious beings. I don't want to sound all weird, but they're conscious beings. They delegate resources to each other. There will be like a plant not getting enough sunlight, and it'll be like, I'm not getting enough sunlight. They're like, Larry's not getting enough sunlight. And they start sending him vitamin D. They delegate resources to each other. Turkeys drown in the rain, okay? It doesn't make any sense. People are like, oh, don't kill the animals, don't kill the pig or the cow or whatever. But no, meanwhile, no one ever thinks about the million roly-polies that die for every square of sidewalk you walk on. This is like, because they never frowned in a Disney movie. Go fuck yourself, it's fine. Thought it was gonna be a meat-eating crowd, really did, after how the religious stuff went. I don't know, just like all those people that are like uptight about that stuff. It was like, where do you think your Priuses and your bicycles and your Birkenstocks come from? Assembly lines. You know what assembly lines are in? Factories. You know how factories get built? We devastate ecosystems, okay? Eat a dick, vegans. A real one, not any of that eggplant bullshit, okay? You need real protein. Not this Impossible Burger bullshit. Oh, it's got 30 grams of protein, only 3 of which your body can process, but they don't tell you that on CNN, do they? One joke too far, every fucking joke, got it.
We're different people, that's why, you know? But we finally found something that we have in common. Neither of us have ever tried online dating before, right? So for Valentine's Day, we were gonna do this spicy role play weekend where we find each other online and then meet up somewhere safe, like at a Panera, you know, like we're not trying to be all dangerous about it. So we get out on eharmony.com and we fill out profiles and we are not compatible. I can't even find her on there. And that's how different we are, you guys. Like, I tried one time to hook up with my own wife on the internet, and the site responsible for 476 successful marriages a day thinks I need a divorce. So I emailed eHarmony with her picture like an old man. And they were like, sir, you and this woman don't align on any of the 29 dimensions of our profile assessment. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, is address not one of the dimensions? They were like, sir, the eHarmony compatibility matching system only uses things that are scientifically proven to bind one human to another for a lifetime. And I was like, we have a kid, goddammit. And they were like, not according to her bio. Yeah, no, I got her back. Yeah, you know what I did? Because this is my life. I left the house in the middle of the night and I went to Denny's and ordered breakfast for dinner. Yeah, that's right. You want to know what happened then? I paid for my moons over my hammy. And then the waitress slowly walked back over to the table and she was like, hey, baby. And you want to know what happened then? You want to clap your hands if you want to know what happened then. Yeah, now I know you're serious. And she said, sir, Commerce Bank, shut your mouth.
My girlfriend and I, we have this friend that we used to spend quite a bit of time with, who's also female and very attractive. Nothing like that, I'm not that cool, but thanks for the couple of you that looked like you believed in me. Me and my girlfriend and this friend of ours, we were hanging out at this bar one night, just throwing darts, minding our own business, right? And this guy walks up, and he hands me a shot of tequila, because he's already done the math. He knows I can't be with both of them. And he hands in this shot of tequila, and he leans in and whispers in my ear, and he says, hey man, which one's your girl, and which one can I talk to? And he was pretty drunk and aggressively horny for 8 o'clock. So I didn't just want to point at my single friend and be like, that one, sicker boy, go get her, you know? So I tried to protect her, and I lied to him. I was like, actually, man, those two are together, I'm the third wheel here. Now, the ladies know this. Fellas, if you're ever trying to get like a drunk, aggressive, horny man to leave two beautiful women alone, don't say they like each other. That is the wrong thing to do. That makes him a bigger problem. He was following me around all night, just buying me tequila, and I was like, I'll drink for free, whatever. And then finally, towards the end of the night, we were outside smoking cigarettes, and he came up to me, and gave me one last drink, took his one last shot, and was like, come on, man, just tell me, which one's your girl? Which one can I take home? And I was pretty drunk off free tequila at this point, so I didn't really know what to do, so I just doubled down on my original lie. I was like, look, dude, I already told you, those two are together. Honestly, the only person on this patio you got a shot with tonight is me. Thought I'd say something gay and scare him away. And that's not what happened. He just stopped and gave me a once over and goes, I'll take you home. And I was like, oh, no! He's called my bluff. And the worst part is my girlfriend was just cracking up the whole time. She never once felt threatened or jealous, and that pissed me off. I know it's like unhealthy to have a jealous partner, but we all should aspire to have someone that has something to say when someone tries to take us home from a bar right in front of them. I don't care if it's a man. No, fuck that, especially if it's a man. They're more picky, that's a compliment. She needs to respect me and what we have. She has no idea. Look at this haircut. Look at my beard. Look how clean my shoes are. She has no idea how much dick I could have if that's what I wanted. You guys have been a lot of fun. I'm Dustin Slentz. Thanks for coming out. Give it up for your host, DeRock, everybody. Give it up for Josh. Give it up for Amber.
Hey.
Wow.
Good times, right?
That was a good show. That would have been fun to go to that show.
Yeah, it was a great time. We sold the place out. I wish I would have had more shots of the crowd so that you could not see the same guy's head the whole time. But yeah, it was really fun to do. And special thanks has to go out to the people at Hazel's, Heather and Randy, for not only letting us have a great show there, but contributing to the promotion, first of all. And second of all, just allowing us to kind of experiment with this idea. It is on top of all the other stuff that's going on there. It was really, really awesome to have their support. So if they're watching, hey, special thanks to them.
Yeah, thank you for letting Josh host a show there, videotaping it, and letting us air it. That was so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a good time. This was a great idea, doing this watch party. If you guys want to see more watch parties like this, what you got to do is throw some comments down there. Whatever platform you're watching this on, throw some comments out there. Let us know that you enjoyed this and that you want to see more content like this. And we will do our best, to bring more content like this.
That's right. Dan's going to go get burped.
I ain't even drinking. I'm drinking bubbly.
Oh my gosh. Well, that will do. It will have the same effect as beer, but without the
alcohol. It will. At least if that would have been from drinking beer, I would have, seemed cool. But drinking bubbly.
All right, we got a comment here from Liana. Yeah, that's a friend of mine. She's saying, "Hey, bring on the content, baby." She wants to see more comedy. So, yeah, that's good encouragement. We'll keep working on it and bring some fun stuff.
Yeah, make sure you are following us on all those social medias at Art of Bombing Pod on all platforms, including Twitch and YouTube.
Absolutely.
You can get us at all of those places. All right. I think, do you got anything else? Any parting words of wisdom?
Nah, man. Just I'm looking forward to talking to Luke on Tuesday. And all right.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah. So we plan to talk to Luke on Tuesday next week. Tomorrow, stay tuned to our YouTube channel. You're going to see a great bomb drop from our old friend Winston Hodges. We had a great show with him. You're going to see a great clip tomorrow come to our YouTube channel. The story he tells is epic. And just the way that whole thing came together is fantastic. We also have a fun stand-up clip from Winston to play when that happens. So check that out. Tuesday, you're going to see Luke on the show. Thursday, that same episode will drop onto the podcast. And then next Friday, our buddy Dobie Maxwell will have his bomb drop hit. So we got a jam-packed next 7 days for you guys.
That's right. We got Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays content coming your way. We'll probably be doing another Between Bombs here pretty soon. We're going to analyze an article that I wrote about submitting to things to think about before you submit to a comedy festival. So we're going to break that down and turn that into a Between Bombs. So lots of fun stuff coming up. So thank you all for watching and supporting. And keep supporting. We love it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Great time. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night.